Hello everyone and welcome to, I guess, a comeback commentary. We've been getting completely destroyed this whole game. The purple team just picked up Baron, me and TF are dead, and they're gonna come and push mid. Their Jax is ridiculously fed. At 938 he has a lot of gold. But Teemo gets slightly greedy and gets caught, but he does manage to finish off Varus, who is the only fed character on our team. And then TF gets caught again, as he's been getting caught most of the game. I mean, I shouldn't really talk, I haven't been playing this game that well myself either. It's probably me and TF who screwed up the most during this game. Basically, bottom lane, we're doing fine. Neither of the junglers really came bottom lane, and we won it convincingly. But their Jax just completely destroyed TF mid, and also managed to shut down all of top. Mundo just couldn't keep up with his ganking presence. And as a result, he got really fed, Teemo got really fed, and Ahri got really fed. And then during team fights, we didn't team fight as well as we could have, which let Graves get fed as well. We came out of bottom lane with like 3 kills to their none. But as you can see, Graves came back and got 6 kills during team fights. So they just picked up Baron, but they decided not to push in. And we're just sitting and defending at this point. Our top inhibitor is exposed. They have complete control over the whole map. They have multiple oracles. The nice thing is we do have oracles on Olaf, so we do have a bit of Baron control. But we're not nearly strong enough to actually do it. So TF gets chunked, and I completely whiff my ult. And that pretty much costs us the team fight. If I actually managed to hit Ahri with the ult, we could have finished her off. And the Chandler would have died from my ult too. But I just completely screwed it up, and that cost us a team fight. And now they got a 3-for-1, so they can easily pick up tower and mid inhib, especially since they still have Baron. And our top inhib was exposed, so they grabbed that too on the way out. And meanwhile, Jax is getting her last outer tower on bot. And pushing in this minion wave. Me and Mundo just can't really do anything. So we just come in. So we're just sitting at our 2 final towers and basically holding off the minion waves as our whole base gets destroyed. And they smartly decide to back out. They did not get greedy like sometimes you see teams do, and they decided that, well, Baron's buff is up, which means Baron buff is gonna be up before inhibitors respawn. We have 3 inhibitors down, so they can just go farm up the map, grab Baron buff, and push in again. Or they don't even have to really wait for Baron buff if they don't want to. They have oracles to make sure they're clearing all the wards that we've been trying to put down. Teemo is shrooming up the whole forest. And we're just sitting in base. I'm not sure, I guess Teemo is just waiting for a shroom, hoping maybe red would spawn. But it doesn't, and he gives up. Meanwhile, we're just at base, killing minions. Not much else we can do. They've just farmed out the whole map. At this point they have a massive advantage. In the gold they have actually 2 oracles on their team. Because why not? Jax hasn't died in a very long time, neither has Janna. And they have the gold to do it. We have no vision outside their base. So we're just... basically, we can't see anything, all we see is the minion waves getting pushed in. And suddenly... they jump on Olaf, so he is forced to waste his ult. And they're getting ready for the final push. They decided not to wait for Baron, which I guess is smart. They're already much stronger than we are. Teemo is just melting through that Olaf. TF is trying to nuke Teemo down, but he misses with the wild cards. And we're just sitting at towers and defending. At this point, I'm so low on mana that I'm afraid that if a team fight starts I won't have enough, so I quickly pop back into Fountain and get back just in time to save TF and stun Jax, which means he dies, and then I kill Teemo because that's what Sona does. Well, I tag Teemo as the tower finishes him off, to be more precise. But yeah, I just got really lucky. I was just in time to ult Jax before he killed TF, and that meant that TF was able to get an extra pair of wildcards off and deal a lot of damage. They did take down Mundo and Olaf, but at least we can still defend. We also lost one of our towers. But now, Baron buff is up, but they don't have time to pick it up and come back before minions respawn. So we're back to sitting in base and defending. Again, we have no vision, but we can pretty much figure out that they're gonna go for Baron the instant they respawn. It's been... basically that team fight, they got greedy. The good thing is, since all the minions are pushing into our base, we're actually catching up on farm. And also we took off a bunch of killing sprees. Varus especially, he's now almost equal to Jax. He's only 1k gold behind, which is a lot, but it's not as bad as it used to be. The rest of our team is still very far behind. And they 2-man Baron because they're just that fed. There's no way we could contest it or have vision for it, for that matter, but even if we had vision, we couldn't leave the inhibitor. So but the good thing is, because it's 45 minutes into the game, the respawn timers were long enough where our inhibitors are up before they're able to push with their Baron. At this point, they're making a bit of a mistake. They're going for Dragon when they should have just grouped up and pushed. But I guess Jax had to go back and buy something. Not sure what it was. And now they're gonna push in. And again, Teemo and Chan are by themselves here. If we had some kind of vision, we could get them, but we don't. We don't know where the rest of their team is. And Jax is making a big mistake at this point. He does not need the farm. And they just need to get our inhibitors back down, because at this point we've managed to defend long enough for all 3 inhibitors to come back up. And now they decide to push in. Varus gets tagged, but Luckily, the rest of them are in position to follow up. The nice thing is that Varus is fed, and Varus is one of the best champions in the game to clear super minions, because he just gets such a massive attack speed compared to all the other AD carries that he is able to actually hold them off. TF is going forward to tag Ahri. At this point, I was pretty sure that we were gonna back off, but Virus decided to initiate with the ult, so I have to flash in. Okay, here TF completely messes it up. He should have, he ends up burning a flash, but we do manage to pick up the Teemo. And all that was because Jax wasn't with the team. He decided that he wanted to farm the jungle. And we just bought more time. Suddenly 4 of them are down and we can actually push. We still don't have minion anywhere near them. But at this point Olaf and Moon are tanky enough that they can just tank the tower. But not the Jax, who comes in and melts. Moon manages to flash away and Varus picks up the Jax, who didn't have dodge, and lifesteal doesn't work unless you're actually attacking. So by Mundo flashing away, he was able to stop Jax from attacking, and he just died. Meanwhile, we're able to push 2 towers as I come up, and we back off. Virus gets a bit greedy. You can see him trying to come back for the minions, but we get out all safely, and I use the chance to ward up Baron. Now that the 3 inhibs are up, there could be a chance that we might try to stop them if they decide to go for Baron, even though it's highly unlikely. Also, blue buff is up, and in case we basically at this point, I'm thinking that our best chance is TF split pushing, and he's gonna really need a blue buff. So I ping for him to pick it up, but he was either AFK or something because he completely ignores me. And I'm typing out in chat and pinging for him to come, and he finally decides that yeah, he actually wants a blue buff. So he goes and grabs it. This time I don't steal it like I did earlier in the game when I accidentally walked too close to the blue and just queued it. That was a bit embarrassing and really pissed the TF off. But at this point we have one tier 4 tower left, and that's it. Our inhibitors have respawned, but we can't leave the base because if we do, then Jax can just solo our whole base basically. Or Teemo, and maybe even Graves. So we're sitting in base. And waiting for them to push in. Since they're not, we decide to push out a bit. And I put a ward down just to get vision on the major pass to see where they are if they decide to come behind us in the forest. Varus picks up an oracle and starts farming shrooms with mixed success. Janna is a bit in front, but the team is right behind, so there's no way we could respond to that. And now they finally decide to push again. At this point though, we're in much better shape. we're less than 10k gold down compared to the 15k that we were before. That was a really dumb move on my part. If Ahri charged me, they could have easily burst me down. And TF gets ambushed by the Jax, but the rest of their team is actually not in position to follow up. So we take out their two main carries before the rest of the team actually manages to come in. Killing Graves twice. And at this point we're chasing the Chen down. I do have Shurelya's, but with my pro skills I actually ended up blocking Varus after popping Shurelya, so he couldn't catch up. And we push in. I also bought Randuin's, but I also get to use it during team fights, so it hasn't been doing that much for me. I tag Jan, it was a slow, but she pops Shurelya's and gets out. At this point, Mundo starts tanking the tower slightly too early, but he's fat enough where he is able to do it. Janna does a nice bait with the exhaust, but Varus has a heal to survive long enough. We don't actually have any minions in here at this point, so we have to tank the turret ourselves. They have 1 second until Jack respawns, and I actually remembered to use my Randuin's, even though it didn't matter. And that was a pretty epic comeback. Thanks for watching.